Fingerprinting Gurus. My name is Tommy Watkins, your instructor, here for a new go-to live here on Fingerprinting Gurus. This week, I have a special guest. His name is Rodney Hatcher of Chattanooga Mobile Ink Fingerprinting out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I just wanted to bring a good friend of mine to you this week that can provide some much needed clarity for is what we do here in the ink fingerprinting business. We're not talking live scan. We're totally ink fingerprinting. Right now, how you doing today, sir?
Good. Glad to be here. Man. Appreciate you.
Great. So, can you tell me how you got started in the mobile ink fingerprinting business?
Yeah, it was really just kind of an add-on to my initially my mobile notary business. So I got into that first. Chattanooga Mobile Notary, and then came across I don't know. I guess we had the same kind of mutual mentor as to it'd be a good idea to add fingerprinting as a service that you would offer. And kind of went from there. I thought it was interesting, a new skill to pick up. It was intriguing. It didn't seem to, have too big of a barrier to get into. It wasn't super expensive to start. So it's like, okay, well, that's, fairly low risk to kind of, figure out what to do, learn how to do it and start implementing it from there. So that's what I did.
Okay.
So that came kind of a couple of years after. I became a notary in 2016. And so about 2018, 2019, around there, brought in the fingerprinting piece to it. So
Okay.
been doing it ever since.
Okay. So, do you leverage your mobile notary commission in ink fingerprinting? Have you had any, I guess, documents for his ink fingerprinting that you have notarized? If so, can you explain what those documents is or are, if any?
Yeah, I do from time to time. As a matter of fact, I've got an assignment coming up next week where I already know it's the doctor I'm going to have to go and visit. He's got some documents because he's trying to get an additional license for another state, and that license is going to require ink fingerprints, of course. In addition to him signing off on some affidavits it's going to have to be notarized there. So, yeah, and most of the time, if it's something like that, where I get to kind of combine both, put on both hats, but situations like that, usually they're going to be medical related, and that's a big part of my, kind of customer base as far as getting ink fingerprints here, at least, is people that are, nurses and doctors. And so they usually always got to have, some accompanying affidavits or whatever to go with their license application for other states. So, yeah.
Okay. So, so what areas or what counties do you cover there within the Chattanooga, Tennessee area?
Chattanooga, mainly, the biggest county mainly is Hamilton County. So that's where, it's right there in Chattanooga. There are some surrounding counties I do fairly often, like Bradley County, sometimes Marion County, here just strictly in Tennessee that I'm thinking of. But the good thing with the fingerprinting piece, unlike say being a notary, when you're a notary, you are absolutely bound by your state of commission, So if you're a Tennessee notary, you can't go to Georgia, you can't go to Alabama, for that. But with the fingerprinting, it's wide open. You can go wherever you can get to, and whatever you can negotiate, So, so yeah. If so, I don't have any kind of list of that. So whatever, if I go to Georgia sometimes, it's mainly mainly other states that I kind of go to would be Georgia. But I can go there and work doing the fingerprinting piece with no problem. So
So what does your target market look like for you there in Chattanooga, Tennessee, for your ink fingerprinting business?
The target market, like I said, mainly the medical more so than anything else. That's the probably 90% of the customers I get, at least right now, have been medical. Then there are some others, the other 10% would be divided between people that may need fingerprints for, say, immigration, They may need fingerprinting for getting a job somewhere. They may be employed in another state or even another country.
Right.
I had a couple of those. Every now and then, firearms. People may need something for to go to the ATF. They may need some suppressors or
Okay.
certain type of gun. So something going to the ATF. Those. But that's about the medical part is about the biggest amount of customer base that I get. But that's good because they're always needing
Right.
prints, and I have a lot of repeat customers. That they go for a couple of states.
Right.
Those get approved. They want to do some more. They come back with more. So yeah, stay pretty busy with it.
Okay. So typically, I hear you said nurses for is your main target market there. When they do get the ink fingerprints, how many cars typically do those, I guess, healthcare professionals normally get when they come to you?
It ranges, So like on average, let's say usually two at the lowest.
Okay.
Usually one two, but it runs up to. I mean, I did one the other day. They needed 12. You
Right.
know, so anywhere kind of running in there. I mean, I've had some on the high end though. I know I did one a couple years ago. Kind of when I first kind of get started in this, and they were getting licensed for like all 50 states, and they had a 50 cards.
Right.
So that was a lot. That's probably about the most I've done in one clip, and it took two sections to do those.
Right.
First one took, I think we did like 5 hours or so.
Right.
For to get most of them done. Then second day, coming back, still took a couple of hours, but nowhere near as the first. To get all 50 done. So,
Right.
but yeah, usually, the lowest end two on average.
Okay. So, Mr. Hatcher, how does the competition look in your immediate area for as mobile ink fingerprinting technicians?
I mean, immediate. There's really not many, doing what I do. At least not right now.
Right.
There's you know, some place like maybe UPS that may offers it, but that's kind of weird the way they do it there
It's
because
almost
most
like
of
the
the
notary service.
yeah. It's I have a lot. I get it because I get a lot of their customers. Sometimes they'll come back and like, well, hey, I went to UPS and they just kind of watching me do it, and then they got rejected because people don't really know how to do them on their own. So that's just kind of odd
Right.
they would do that. You basically just watching someone try to roll their prints and try to get it right.
Right.
So
And what
didn't work out too
individuals
well.
right and what individuals don't understand practice make perfect. This ink fingerprinting deal is a very skilled deal when it's rolling fingerprint. It's not just slapping your fingers there onto the card. It doesn't
No,
work like it doesn't
no,
work like that, people. You have to have precision when you're dealing with this FBI FD 258 card. Um, if you want repeat clients, do the job correct the first time. And if for some reason, if this card is rejected, give them some type of guarantee that this will be reprinted again in the event of a rejection. As long as they bring along a letter for that rejection. Now, if they can't provide you that rejection letter, uh, that's where you pretty much have to charge them again a full fee to redo the assignment. So professionals like myself and Mr. Hatcher here of Chattanooga Mobile Ink Fingerprinting, we can definitely get you in the game as far as learning the tips and techniques for your area in order to help you maximize your potential. Um, is there anything else you want to talk about in regards to um, mobile ink fingerprinting?
yeah, you're right. It's not easy like that. It really isn't, and it's taken some time, some years really to get to the skill level to get that done. It takes seeing a lot, and a lot of trial and error, and it's almost more art than science in a way. Getting those prints to come off. But yeah, I'm like, always, you just want to strive to get it right the first time around.
Right.
That is impressive to customers because people are busy and it
Right.
costs them money. I mean, even after you roll a set of prints, that person still may have to, there's still additional fees they may have to pay out to whatever agency,
Right.
and their whole licensing fees or whatever. That's just one, dealing with you is just one part of their expense. So you want to try, you're right, you want to try to get it right as much as possible. And I always tell people, I'm sure you do too, that yeah, if it does happen to reject, I would replace them free of charge to them. If you show me a proof of rejection, I'll eat that cost, redo them again,
Right.
for you. But yeah, you're right. If someone can't, you just never know what, they try to get over on you for some reason. Show me a proof. And if it truly rejects, they should have no problem doing that.
Right.
I'm gonna get them taken care of again. But yeah, it's some work.
Right.
It's not super easy, but it's worth it. It's worth
Right.
it.
So, go ahead. Let's go ahead, Mr. Hatcher. I'm sorry.
No, that was it. That was it. So
Okay. So
you can tell.
explain to me why someone would choose a fingerprinting professional such as yourself and I instead of the police department.
Well, for one, I know here most offices, most police departments, for one, here don't do it anyway. They don't do it
Right.
anymore. They're not going to give you prints unless they're keeping you.
Right.
So if you're going to haul a brick through a window, you'll get some free prints. But beyond that, it's really not worth. It's really not worth bothering with. If they
Right.
will do it, some of them have very, kind of very specific rules. Like if you have to be a part of that community and
Right.
that community for them to do it. If you're not, they're not going to do it. Or you have to come on certain days at certain times, and that
Right.
can be very inconvenient for customers. Somebody like me or someone like you, well, hey, I'm here to accommodate you and work with you, and work with
Right.
your schedule. So if you gotta, you can't get anywhere, you can't get free to 5 p.m. Fine, we can schedule that out. If you can't get free to the weekends, fine, we can work that out. You don't have to only be a certain part of town for me to do it or whatever.
Right.
So we offer a lot more convenience and be able to kind of work to the customer service piece than you would get at, like I say, trying to go to a police officer to do it.
Right.
You know.
And most of all, glad you said that, but most individuals just cringe at the point of just having to go to the police department to do anything.
Right. Yeah. Even the atmosphere of it. Yeah.
Different demographics of people, they really don't want that interaction. They'll come to someone such as a mobile ink fingerprinting technician that can come to them versus them going to the police station, things of that sort.
Right. Certainly. Yeah. So like, going to someone's residence or someone's
Right.
job or anything that's convenient for them,
Right.
as opposed to, hey, you got to drive out to here at a certain point.
Right.
And plus with everything else that kind of goes along with that, because you may be getting fingerprinted, you may be there's somebody that maybe just, mug somebody or whatever, you may not want to deal with that. And you wouldn't have to dealing with a professional like with what we do. So,
Right.
it's like it's
So
truly
tell
to
me-
your convenience.
Right. So tell me the most entertaining thing you have dealt with, I guess, for ink fingerprinting, where you located there in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Entertaining. Well, I mean, I like most of the time. I mean, most customers that I meet, I mean, it's a good time. We chat, we have fun, we talk, we joke, and everything comes off. Because like I said, we've set it up to where it's going to work out in their favor. So they can be comfortable. They're going to be
Right.
comfortable with you. And yeah, like I said, I've come to and made a lot of good, loyal, and repeat customers that way.
Right.
But it's hey, they could hang out in their pajamas or whatever. We can get them knocked out.
Right.
And enjoy it like that. So it's I enjoy doing it. it's just it's fun. It's fun. I don't know.
Right.
I'm trying to think of. I don't have anything specific. Now I've had some. You can run into some adverse situations out here. That
Right.
may be in hindsight amusing. you know, it can be in
Right.
hindsight amusing. Like I know I had one not too long ago where we set up a meeting with the client was going to come out to their apartment,
Right.
and I got there on time and everything, and they had just neglected to tell me that they were also moving that same day,
Move.
and right, yeah, moving, just move the whole apartment. They're relocating that very same day,
Uh-huh.
and like I say, failed to mention that when I got there. So then it's kind of like scrambling. Okay, well, where can we do this at? You got everything boxed up. You
Right.
can't get to certain things. You can't even find a counter. So it
Right.
took a while, to kind of work with it. And hey, the movers are there too. So the
Right.
movers are there trying to work. I'm there trying to work. And like I said, they didn't mention anything about that,
Right.
until we kind of got there. But still made it work though. So
Right.
it wasn't funny at the time, but it's kind of
Right.
funny afterwards.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I
I,
get
I
stuff
would
like that.
also suggest anyone that's looking to come into ink fingerprinting out there, uh, you have to have adequate space and when performing this. Uh, During your assessment for us a phone call for these appointments, you want to know whether uh, they have these conveniences or office space where you can perform uh, these tasks. If not, we have, of course, I have some sort of training, and so do Mr. Hatcher here that can advise you of other options that you can utilize in order to get your client's fingerprints off in a conducive environment. That you can roll their fingerprints with top quality and move from there, basically. Um, Mr. Hatcher, Forrest, what do your fees look like in the Chattanooga, Tennessee area? What range and what do they go to?
Like my fee structure set up now is essentially, I do $35 per set of prints taken.
Okay.
And then if you're in the general, city area here within a 15-mile radius, travel fee is 35 too.
Right.
So if I gotta travel farther than that, then it's negotiating a higher fee for it, of course.
Right.
Um, there may be some times when also, most of the fingerprinting cards that we deal with, it's going to be the FD 258. But
Correct.
there are some times when there can be, there are some times when you may get confronted, or someone may have a different, or may want a different model for you to use. I have come across a couple of those because
Right.
there are some state specific cards that they may want,
Right. Say
especially like
Ohio is
the
one of
state of
them.
Ohio. Yes, for
Yeah.
them. Now a lot of times they won't even have those cards. They may, hey, well, here's a printout link, for that card. Well,
Right.
the FD 258 and any ink fingerprinting boards that you may have to use, well, they're built to a specific size. Those cards are kind of an odd shape. They're not a 9
Right.
by 11. So
Right.
I think it may be like maybe an 8 by 8 or something like that.
Eight
So
by eight.
it's yeah. So it's its own kind of dimension. And so even if you printed it off, you still have to do some work. So I keep cardstock on me, and I can print those off, and I gotta trim them down to the right size, and they
Right.
gotta be front and back. There's this piece on the back, piece on the front to make that whole card work. Well, if I
Right.
gotta do extra work, that's gonna be that's a higher
That
fee for
comes
that card.
that comes
The
in the
higher fee
extra
for that
fee.
model.
Right.
Because you got to do extra work to make that card work and
Right.
make it vibrant, which I can
Right.
do, but it's going to come at a higher fee.
Right.
And I know, like, I treat have to travel out of town, so I got to go next week when I go see that doctor there. That's like off in Tullahoma. That's near almost close to Nashville. So
Right.
there comes a higher fee with that too.
Right.
But so it's what you're going to negotiate to make it work for you. So
Right.
like, hey, Do I feel I'm adequately compensated if I got to drive 100 miles out or something like that? But you got to drive back too, so you got to take all that into effect of where you're going. So, yeah, but the basic fee structure, 35 per set of prints, 35 for travel if within a 15-mile radius here.
Okay. Also, ladies and gentlemen, what he said as far as the fees, they're going to vary per location where you at. Hatcher fees are there for his particular area. Where I'm located is, I think I'm up 2 hours south of you, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 hours south here in the Birmingham metro area. My fees at this time is like it's $85 for the first card, $25 for any additional card thereafter. Now, I did test it. The method I have went as high as $95 to $100 per the first card, and I kept it at $25. But it was still getting some traction. But I noticed that hey, I'm still bringing in the most clientele at 85, so I just drifted back to that. But I can get that $100 for the first card, but decided out. But I may drift back due to the economic conditions because fuel is not cheap, supplies. You got to account for all of that stuff. Um, Speaking of that, I just had my first 2 hour commute for a CEO. It was 2 hours from me in Auburn, Alabama. Had to go do uh, some fingerprints for the CEO in the area. They couldn't get into the police department there to do their prints. And basically, he paid a premium for that. And I'm just grateful for it. And I guess sometime this week, another 2 hours north of me here in Florence, Alabama. I don't know if you're familiar with Florence. Someone called, but they haven't got back with me yet. But they were pretty much quoting me for as my fees, so I can come up there and do prints as well. It's wide open. If you eager to learn, um, you're a people's person, a professional. You can come into this ink fingerprinting profession wide open. Uh, I myself, I'm a former criminal justice professional, uh, ink fingerprinting, notary, loan signing agent, you name it. Uh, just being professional, giving back to the people out there, and you guys can do the same. This it can no way become oversaturated for us what we do because your quality of service is what's going to set you apart from the others out there. So don't worry about what other fingerprint technicians are doing. You worry about what you bring to the picture because while I have 5-star reviews over here, they may be getting 3.6s and stuff like that, and you'll wonder why because they haven't been trained to the level of myself and Mr. Hatcher here, who can really teach you and dominate our market here, basically.
Indeed. Indeed. Yeah, you got to just worry about what you do. But it's like, hey, I'm a notary signing agent, the same as you are. There's other ones out there, but
Right,
there's just you. I mean, you are, yourself. So you can't really
right,
be worried about what somebody else is doing. But concentrate on making yourself the best you can be,
right,
the best trained and the most knowledgeable as you can be. And I was looking to pick up whatever skills that you can as many as you can take on, you know,
right,
to be the better person out there. So yeah.
right. I had some at the top of my head, but it just left me like that. I guess it'll come back to me. Go ahead and fill in for me while I try to figure out what I need, Mr. Hatcher. Well, I'm
uh,
having a water break.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's true. So I was looking at my price point. I think initially I had set it higher when I first started, but it just people weren't it wasn't working. Like it wouldn't get enough traction for it. But adjusting the price the way I did, That's when I started getting more business, and people start finding that to be, reason for this area at least.
Right.
So I know, location is key for what you can do. So depending on where your market may be, just gonna get in there and test out, set a
Right.
point, see if it works.
Right.
If it does, great. You may have to adjust it, up or down as it may come. Same thing, because my notary work was the same way. I think when I first started being a notary, I was charging something like ridiculous, but it was low. It was way too low. And
Right.
I'm running around all over town. I'm like, I ain't making enough money for this. This
Right.
sucks.
Exactly.
I had to raise that up, to
Right.
make that, come to where I didn't feel like, you know, um, a dummy really doing
Right.
all this, like
Right.
I'd run around all day, spend all this gas, and it's all
Right.
I got to show for it.
Yeah.
That wasn't going to work.
You
It's
definitely
got
learn
to
how
be
to
money.
adjust those. You'll definitely learn how to adjust those prices. Then when you come across uh too much business, then you have to,
Yeah.
get that price right where it slows down all that influx, basically.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
I have a question. I have a question here. It's from John Dursky here on Facebook. Not Facebook. There I am in love with Facebook. Here on YouTube. He says, "What kind of advertising do you do for his ink fingerprint?" Well, let me answer first. Well, for myself, my Google My Business page. My Google My Business page speaks for me. When my clients provide the much needed reviews, the 5-star reviews, that helps generate additional business with people that's perhaps looking for mobile ink fingerprinting technician near me. That comes up as you compile those 5-star ratings. There are more ways, but we'll just touch upon that Google My Business page at this point.
Yeah, that's a huge piece, and that goes for whether I'm doing, notary work or fingerprinting. The Google Business Profile, you want to have that done, maxed out and optimized as best you can,
Right,
because that's working for you 24/7.
right,
And yeah, you want to try to get as many 5-star reviews as you can. Ask for them. So if you have a good interaction with a client, certainly,
right,
ask for that review,
right,
because it really helps your visibility,
right,
in what you're doing. And so, the more people really pay attention to reviews, they pay attention to what uh, the public says, and what their opinion is of you, and they really take that into account in making a buying decision. So yeah, that's, you really want that. I mean, I have that. I have a corresponding, website and landing page for each of them for,
He
Chattanooga
has a
Mobile
he
Notary.
has a nice website. I love his commercials on your website, man.
Yeah, yeah, commercials, all
You're
that.
jammed up, man.
Yeah,
Love it.
that. I'm on Facebook, all that. But that Google piece
Oh
cannot
yeah,
be overlooked. That's part one. If you do anything else, do that
right.
for
And
sure.
I would say for us that Google My Business page, it's not about just giving reviews. You have to get, of course, you got to have. Uh, it has to be information on there, like a Q&A, things like that.
Yeah.
You need to have pictures of yourself, uh, pictures of your work, if possible. All those things help those clients to make a buying decision when they want to select you versus your competitor across town or across the street or whichever way it is. So
Sure.
really put some work within those Google My Business pages.
Yeah. Yeah, I told, yeah, and it doesn't happen overnight. It does take time to build that, because
Right,
you need time to generate photos. You need time to kind of get out there and be around people and experience things. Take those photos and get them there. But that's continuously working on it, and that's what I have to do,
right,
So it's taking a while for it to get it looking as good as it looks.
exactly.
But it's worth what you put into it, though,
Right.
for sure.
And another great thing about ink fingerprinting, ladies and gentlemen, you can get paid the same day. Uh, well, I myself personally, I make sure I get paid before leaving the office. Some may differ. They may get their funds when they get there. But me, I like to get it through automation via my website or through me sending that client a invoice to their text message or to their email in order to go ahead and be compensated before I leave out. Because it's nothing like being burned by burning your gas and getting somewhere, and these individuals ain't nowhere to be seen. Like I say, if you don't place any skin in the game, they have no incentive to show up.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Um, that that hurts.
Yeah,
I can tell you that. That
it,
hurts.
it, it,
Like that.
it definitely is the highest gas is at this point.
For
Uh,
real.
you have to go ahead and get those monies up front when you can.
Yeah, yeah. As much as possible, for sure. Um, I mean, if you're dealing with a reputable company, a little bit bigger companies, some of the ones around town. I mean, I don't worry about necessarily getting. I know I'm going to get paid from them. They
Right,
got the funds, and it's not an issue. But yeah, dealing with, people, you just never know sometimes. So yeah,
right,
if you can, yeah, you're definitely going and get it.
right. What have been some one of your favorite locations to visit up there to perform ink fingerprint?
Let's see. As far as like maybe a place where I may have somebody come to, or place we
Well,
meet at, or
yeah, some fun place, or what's you know probably one of your favorite hot spots, or not necessarily. It's whatever you want to provide for is that.
oh yeah, yeah. Like one place I really enjoy going. I mean, I like having meeting clients at Starbucks. I tell them to
Okay,
come there. Because
that's
I have found, yeah. I
that's one of
mean, you got a
mine.
great atmosphere. Yeah, yeah, great atmosphere. You can get a drink or something to snack on when you're there. They can as well.
Right. As long as
The
I'm putting
tables
out
I found.
my fingerprint card, I
Yeah,
appreciate that. Don't
yeah.
until we finish.
Yeah, and you go there, the tables at the right height, which is super important.
Uh-huh.
When it comes to rolling prints, you want always try to find some place that you don't want where tables are too low, because when they're too low, people can't roll their hands correctly. Those prints you're gonna struggle to get those prints coming off.
Right.
That's something you learn, trial and error. But I've learned there's kind of a sweet spot in where you kind of want that surface to make those prints come off well for them, so that they don't have to strain their joints to work to do it.
Right.
And so you can help them get those prints off right, and it's a win-win for everybody.
Right.
They have the prints correct. You know, you don't have to call you back. They're not mad because they get rejected. All this.
Right.
So yes, but yeah, Starbucks I love. That's one of my favorite spots. Um, so yeah, I always try to steer people to come to a place like that.
Right. It's funny that you say something about the table for its height and everything. Ladies and gentlemen, when you utilize um, these tables that has like a low platform, it's good to have something that elevates your ink fingerprinting stand so you can um, get them at the correct height so you're not placing any torque on your back. I guarantee you do about um, 5 or 6 of those cards, you're gonna feel it when you bent over trying to roll prints. Oh,
Yeah,
it'll definitely wear
yeah,
you out if you're not like active every day, just exercise. I'm not afraid to say I don't exercise every day, and when I come across it, it's
yeah.
it's
You know it. You
it's
know it. You feel
freeing.
it.
Let me put it like that.
Yeah, you feel it
Yeah.
right
So
there in
you
the
want
lower
to get
back. It'll
something,
get you.
keep that back straight, keep you and
Uh,
that client from bending over, and of course myself and Mr. Hatcher here can provide those details. John Durzik here on YouTube states, do you have anyone working underneath you?
Not right now. Not right
Okay.
now. Not yet. It's just it's just me so far. So
Right. And same thing with me. I'm starting to build community here in my area for individuals that are doing ink fingerprinting. And that's more so when I get ready to take on larger jobs that I have individuals there to back me up. And of course, they get their um, proceeds out of those monies once they're made. Um, for as myself, I utilize good relationships such as Mr. Hatcher here and others here in my surrounding area. Anything you would like to share in closing as far as ink fingerprinting and what one should um, do or expect once they get into the field of ink fingerprinting?
It's take your time and get all the training that you can get, and learn to be flexible. And know you're gonna run into things when you come out there, but just trying to be as professional as possible, and you know, you pick it up, you'll get it in time.
Right.
It comes to you. But definitely, stick with your channel as a good resource.
Right.
So
Definitely,
you tell them right.
fingerprinting gurus is a good resource, and I advise others don't skip on a mentor. Myself or Mr. Hatchet here, or others out there that can help guide you from A to Z uh, the fastest way possible without the minimal mistakes. Take the time to invest in a mentor. You can look at as many videos as you want. You know that that won't make you a professional until you actually put in that work and have someone standing behind you that can guide you um, to the, let's say, the promised land, to making
Indeed.
it work here in the ink fingerprinting industry. Um, it's, the potential, the income is unlimited as far as what we do. You can cover whatever larger geographical area that you want. You can set your prices, but be mindful that the community where you live, they will dictate whether or not you charging too much or you charging too little. It can go both ways.
Yeah.
So definitely be mindful of that. You know if you're charging too little when you got that influx of people coming in like it's free.
Yeah.
And when you're
Yeah.
charging too high, it's going to be a lot of bark.
Yeah.
So it works two ways. You got to be able to judge it and adjust accordingly.
Yeah. Yeah. It really will be a corrective for you. You'll know.
Right.
You'll know.
Right. So this is pretty much all that I have for us fingerprinting go to live for this week. Um, be advised that fingerprinting gurus will be returning in the month of February with uh, another uh, location. For us, we went from Tennessee for the first time around. We'll be bringing someone else from another state as well. So look for me at this same time in the month of February as we look to bring uh, ink fingerprinting to YouTube go live. Until now, myself and Rodney Hatcher of Chattanooga Mobile Ink Fingerprinting. We see you later. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you,
Take
sir.
care, man.